Alright, welcome back everybody. I know this is probably a rare treat for folks, seeing that, like I mentioned in the last video, it's been like, what, about 16 months approximately, maybe just a hair more over, since the last time I shot anything and put it on this channel. It's not like that's, an egregious crime or something, it's just, you know, like I said in the, body of the last video. It's just I had nothing. I couldn't think of anything to say until now. So now I got stuff to say, and believe me, I am gonna say it. But anyway, that aside, I have things to say now. You had better believe it. Anyway, on a more serious note here, I was going to talk about some stuff related to some things that, has changed since I've shot a few of these videos, and I want to kind of do an update on that. Well, anyway, I was made of, sort of a correction in a situation I mentioned in the previous video over the last few weeks, and I wanted to share it with you all tonight. Well, if you watch some of my previous videos about deadbeats and lecherous relatives, well, it has come to my attention that part of that situation has been somewhat well fixed, but not enough in my mind. As I was talking about it in that video, Elizabeth and Zelma, I can't talk tonight hardly, were leeching off of their mom, Catherine, and really making Catherine's other children angry at Elizabeth and Zelma. Well, recently it's been discovered that Catherine is now suffering from worsening dementia, and in my opinion, I think she might be possibly suffering from the early stages of Alzheimer's disease. Well, finally, Camilla, I mentioned in the previous video, got brave and contacted Catherine's regular doctor, and Camilla let the doctor know of what was going on with Catherine on a regular basis, not only with her money, but with Catherine's daily medicine intake too. Catherine wasn't taking her medicine, like when she was supposed to be, or she was mixing them up and taking pills that she was supposed to take in the morning at night, and taking pills she was supposed to take in the morning or the day, like at night during the day, stuff like that. It was just a mess, and Camilla finally just got that all straightened out, for Catherine, to where Catherine, is now getting better. But what is great is that as far as Camilla and Catherine go, Camilla went to the local Department of Social Security and fixed it with the doctor's note, to where now Catherine's check is being sent to another checking account that Camilla exclusively controls, after Camilla had closed Catherine's other account at the bank that Catherine's banking at. Of course, Camilla also took the doctor's letter to the bank and had it fixed with the folks at the bank, because one of the workers at the bank had contacted Camilla about what they at the bank thought was an excessive amount of checks being written to the same two people repeatedly, and it wasn't for stuff like, rent or medical expenses or stuff along those lines, like utility bills or whatever. So now, much to Camilla's credit, and considering that, in my opinion, she's a rather steady, sober individual anyway, Camilla is now going to be keeping track of purchases that Camilla makes for Catherine, and it's going to be keeping Elizabeth and Zelma out of Catherine's money going forward. In fact, Zelma already knows that Camilla closed Catherine's other checking account, and that Camilla has an account where Camilla only controls the account exclusively. What really gets me at this point, though, is the fact that Zelma has already tried, and I'm not making this up, Camilla told me this, to allow Zelma access to that new checking account for Catherine. Fortunately for Camilla, she was smart and told Zelma to hit the bricks and get lost, because Camilla had no intention of giving Zelma that information at all with the new checking account. What's funny now about this whole thing is now Catherine, like I said, she's got dementia, worsening dementia, and possibly Alzheimer's. She's becoming upset over how her bills are now magically getting themselves paid, and Catherine can't seem to figure out how they're getting paid and who's paying them for Catherine, when it's actually Camilla going through and paying the bills on time, either online or with a check or whatever. And Camilla has been keeping track of the bills and everything for Catherine. And I mean, it's like, Catherine, matter of fact, called Camilla on the phone going, how did my like, rent get paid this month? And stuff. It's like, I paid it. It's so funny. But yeah, it just, I mean, I'm actually glad for her. And what's something else I forgot to mention is the other kids, not counting Elizabeth and Zelma, are actually thrilled to death that Camilla did this, for Catherine, because it was getting way out of hand. And I mean, everybody that knew anything about it just wholeheartedly agreed with it, and just, they're like, this stuff has to stop and be put to bed. And, I'm glad to say that it finally did. It makes me feel better, talk about something positive coming out of that situation finally. Well, anyway, I'm going to pause here, because I want to talk about something not related to this, but kind of, speaking of marriage and stuff from like the last video. I got something to talk about in the next video that's marriage related, okay? So hang on.